to the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and joining me this week after, I believe, a 2-week absence. Or no, just 1 week.
No, just
1 week
just one.
absence. Time flies when you're having fun. Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How are you doing, sir?
Yo, 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 what's up? Glad to be here, ready to roll.
What's up? The Zenfo Matt Smith is on
Are we both wearing
vacation this
black?
week from the show. We are both wearing black.
Nice.
Planned ahead of time, as we always do, coordinate very well. But interesting week in the KDFL and the NFL. Let's get started. Oh, this show, by the way, for the people, the show is probably going to be very abbreviated. We have had some things come up on the in our personal life today, so we're going to get a little bit abbreviated and really get flying through this. So this might be the actual plan that I've had all year long, which is 35 to 45-minute shows. I say it every time. It never comes close. So we'll see how this works out. But if it's abbreviated, that is why. But we have a KDFL week 7 to go over. Detroit, take her away.
Yes, we start out with my Elk View River Rats going to South Hills to take on the Evil Empire. Little side note, the River Rats actually have a one-game career winning record over the South Hills Evil Empire and was looking to extend that to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They oh, sorry, I messed up, screwed up. Anyways,
Keep it roll.
we're rolling, buddy.
We're rolling.
The Evil Empire got a low output from his offense this week. CJ Stroud with 5 points.
Yikes.
But he did have Saquon, who just went off on his old team. But it was the lowest output of the year for the South Hills Evil Empire. Only 221 points, which set it up for my River Rats for the upset. And no, it did not happen this week, even though Gibbs had 32 points for me. Losing Jaden Daniels early on that first drive hurt. So the Evil Empire, they win 222 actually to 206.
All right. Now we'll head down to Nocatee next, where the 2 and 4 Zen Masters are hosting the 5 and 1 Dogtown Dobermans. Javonte Williams leads all scorers in this one. He's kind of quite of a little bit of a career renaissance as of late with 26 points. And don't look now, but coveted number 8 overall pick. Yes, Drake May for the Zen Masters leads the way with 23 points. Mr. Consistent Josh Allen with 23 of his own for the Dobermans. George Pickens with Russ Wilson throwing those moon balls contributes with 22. Number 9 overall pick, Brian Thomas Jr. continues his hot rookie season with 22 of his own. And then, number 6 overall pick, Brock Bowers scores 21 for the Zen Masters. So it is seriously three of the top 9 picks in the draft were on showcase in this battle. But the Dobermans keep their winning ways going as they win 247 to 209.
Yes, next we have the Cross Vegas Gamblers taking on the Kanawha County Kings, also known as the team that said that they were the best this year. Talked a lot of smack, but they came into this game 3-3, so they needed a big win. But who else to get that big win when you get the Gamblers coming in? It's an easy win when you see them on your schedule. The Gamblers had a big 14 points from Bo Nix. Sutton got you 0. Daniel Jones got you 6. The Kanawha County Kings, I mean, it was the Lamar Jackson show on Monday Night Football. Breece Hall had a great game. So they took down the Gamblers by 80 points, I believe. No, somewhere around there, 251 to 179.
The classic rule, do not do math on camera.
I'm struggling.
Rule. I love it. Next, let's head right back here from Nocatee to, where did you go? From Nocatee to Kanawha County.
We are rolling.
Back to Melbourne. 3 straight Dunbarian hosts as the Melbourne Mega Powers host the Hurricane Wampus Cats. And this one was ugly early. Roquan Smith with 28 points leads the way for all scores for the Wampus Cats. But the bright note for the Mega Powers, he is here. Mr. Hank Bigsby leads the way for the Mega Powers with 24. Derrick Henry runs up and down on the Buccaneers on Monday night for 25 for the Wampus Cats. Zaire Franklin all over the
Wampus
field for the
Cats.
Colts, scoring 24 of his own. Amon-Ra St. Brown torches the Vikings secondary and gets 25 for the Wampus Cats. Drake London continues his hot streak of touchdowns. He has 18 for the Mega Powers, but this one is not close. Wampus Cats staying healthy and staying hot. Mega Powers crawling from week to week right now. Wampus Cats will win easily, 274 to 200.
Next, we have the defending champions, the Marmot Midnight Riders, coming in with a 3-3 record, taking on the Roxalana Renegades, who also have a 3-3 record. Midnight Riders had Baker Mayfield go off for 28 points, Williams 21, but he also started four wide receivers in this game, four wide receivers, and got a total of 14 points
Love it.
between all of them. The Renegades, good game from Gino, Joe Mixon, and James Conner. And they take down the Midnight Riders 261 to 212.
Let's go. Let's get a little somber voice right now for our week 7 game of the week. And what is surely go down, we have no history to back this up. This will surely go down as quite possibly the worst game of the week in KDFL Dynasty podcast history. As the 3-3 Wake Forest Lumberjacks take on the 3-3 St. Albans Sinners. Bijan Robinson follows up his best game as a Falcon with another great game of 26 points, leading the way for everybody. Aaron Jones with 21 points for the Sinners. And here's where the sadness begins. Cameron Dicker, the second leading scorer for the Lumberjacks. He did have 21, very impressive. And sadder still, we're just going to dive into a pit of sadness right now. Sam Darnold is the second leading scorer for the Sinners with a measly 16 points. We are getting near Halloween. Things are going to start pumpkining, people. Antoine Winfield Jr. with 18 for the Lumberjacks, and Ventrell Miller with 16 for the Sinners in what is the lowest game of the week total in KDFL history. But it is important to the Lumberjacks as they do get a victory, winning a whopping 177 to 171. And pour one out, because that is it for your KDFL Week 7 results. Boom.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Nice.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah. So, ugly week there. Let's go talk some NFL first, real quick, and then we'll talk KDFL, and then we'll get into the predictions because I do have a few KDFL thoughts, as I am known to do. NFL, I will set the stage. Your Lions' biggest win of the season so far, getting the W on the road against what was the undefeated Vikings.
Yes. This was River Rat owner versus River Rat owner. Our favorite teams taking on each other.
Yes.
The way that game started out, it was ugly for the Lions. They were down 10-0 quick, tried the fake punt deep in their own territory.
Let's talk about it. Real quick. I don't want to cut you off right away. Nobody loves going for it more than I do. That is wild. That is.
Jerry, he said he liked going for it there because they have the entire game to make up for that.
That part is true. The field position and the distance is rough.
And I guess when you got that Lions
7 yards.
You can take
7 yards,
chances.
and he's probably snapping from like 14 yards back, right?
I didn't like it at all.
It was a direct snap to the one guy. I don't know what that position's called. Oh my god, the guy that's not the punter.
The guy that says hike.
What's it called?
I forgot.
What is that position? What's that guy called?
I don't know. That could be our lead in one of our.
Yeah, that's what I don't know what's it called. It was a direct snap to him, so he's probably like 7 yards back too. I would say probably 5 to 7. So it's 12 yards. You gotta go.
But yeah, I didn't like that. But that offense just started rolling after it. Man, Montgomery had his worst game of the year. He had that fumble at the end that almost cost him. He got banged up. Gibbs just looks amazing to me. That guy is just electric every time he touches the ball. Darnold did what he didn't play bad, but he wasn't good. But I have a stat for you. Hutchinson, everybody's worried about the Lions losing Hutchinson because he was all we had for pass rush. On plays, they had 27 plays where they didn't blitz. How many of those plays do you think we got pressure on Darnold? Where they just rushed
Um,
four?
how many? 27?
Yeah, out of 27.
I go five.
Three.
Oh my gosh.
Only three. So they're gonna have to
Okay.
make a deal. They have to make a deal. I'm not saying they have to go get Max Crosby, but go ahead. I think you're gonna tell us what that position's called.
Yeah, and it's gonna be bullcrap because people are gonna try to act like they know what this is called. And I'm gonna be gaslit like the MRI discussion in the chat this week. That position is called the personal protector. There is no way
What?
that people know that the personal protector is the last line of protection for the punter. This player usually lines up 5 yards by the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He moves depending on what side
Yeah,
the more pressure is coming from.
I didn't think that was the name of it. So,
I'm not that crazy for not knowing the personal
no,
protector.
no. But now the
Tired of being
Lions,
made a fool. Okay.
going back to my Lions, we are now number one in the NFC. We're looking good. We stay healthy. We're all right. But I definitely, like I said, we have to address the pass rush because you cannot do that every game. Only
But it's
getting,
not gonna get addressed like you see like this fan like this Drake
oh no,
Pines. It's
I
not gonna get
know.
addressed like people try to act like Miles
Right.
Garrett or some crap
Or
like
Max Crosby. Yeah, that's not
Max
happening.
Crosby. Like um yeah. But you have to be
No,
very encouraged
I'm very encouraged. Yes.
to win on the road in Minnesota. Minnesota has now become this formidable team. A lot of discussion this week about the rumored trade that I don't really think is going to happen of Stafford to the Vikings. I just felt like I was a big proponent of it because I did a couple breakdown of a few things. It might be dumb, like I might be stupid, but um, it solves your what to do about JJ McCarthy because you then, and I know everybody thinks it's funny how I relate everything back to the Falcons, but you then enter into an immediate Cousins Penix situation. Like it's fine,
Uh,
like there's a clear succession, right? Stafford has won before. But I mean, they have a good thing going with Darnold as well.
yeah,
So,
it's
and I
kind of
thought it would help
hard.
Darnold because Darnold would have a clear landing spot. He could start for the Rams and have that job if he gets in a good offense. Like that he could just be the guy.
I don't know. Do you make that deal? I don't even know what
And
it
if
would
I'm a Lions fan,
cost.
I don't want to play Stafford. I
Oh
want to play
God,
Darnold.
no. I mean,
And
he
it's
was
not because
still
of being a Lions fan. Like if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm more nervous about playing the Vikings if Stafford's back
he
there
was
than
still
Darnold.
22 for 27 for 259 yards in that game. Of course, at the end, he overthrew the play when he rolled out that would have probably killed the game for the Lions if he would have
Yeah.
made that first down. But I don't think he's playing awful.
No. He's not playing bad. He's playing really well, but that's what makes
Yeah.
it difficult. So it makes it a
All
tough
right.
call. I
So
don't
what
think they
about
do, but
let's move on to your Falcons. I got to
the
watch
Falcons,
a little
it's
bit of
not.
that game.
Look, I always say that like things find their median. Like the reason why I loved a couple weeks ago the Niners over the Seahawks in Seattle was because it doesn't make sense for the Niners to be 2-4, and I might mess up and the Seahawks to be 4-2 or whatever. It doesn't add up. It doesn't work. Same thing with the Falcons. We just won. Like let's really break down the Falcons games, okay? A bad, horrible showing in Pittsburgh. Cousins still hurt. New offense, whatever doesn't look good. Get your ass kicked. That's fine. Okay. Lucky as crap, Saquon drops the pass in Philly to steal that game. Stole that game. Okay. We got a little unlucky against the Chiefs with the fact that the no PI on Pitts and then Tyler Rozier misses the block. Whatever. That stuff happens. Extremely lucky versus the Saints. We played very bad that game. The Saints played better, I would say, but we had some crazy turnovers that we benefited from two special teams or defensive turnovers. So pretty. I feel like we stole one. We still won against the Bucks, Bucky Irving fumbles and stuff like that. So we have one, what I would say, quality good win, and it's in Carolina where everybody's winning. But it would be Seahawks are coming in losing three in a row. We're coming in having won three in a row. Um, it feels like both teams should be 4-3, and that's where we ended up. Just a flat out stink game, like just flat. Like Cousins was bad. He was missing people. The running game's strong, but we have a lot of drive down the field and then one screw up kills a drive right now. And the defense isn't no pass rush. That's the worst offensive line in the league right now. No pass rush. I don't think I think we had 1 or 2 sacks. Other teams are getting 4, 5, 6 sacks against these Seahawks. So we'll
All right.
see. Um, yeah. And then we go to
Well,
Tampa
hey,
this week
I
with
was gonna,
me in
I was gonna,
attendance.
s- I was gonna say, things are looking good though
But
because
the way our
Tampa's falling
brain
apart.
works, yeah, the way our brains work though, I feel better about going to Tampa now. I don't want to go to Tampa on a 4 game winning streak, playing them in creamsicle jerseys. I know it sounds dumb, it's not logical, but I know that's how your brain works as well. Um,
Oh yeah.
all right, we're gonna do a smooth transition here because I don't really have anything else NFL wise to talk about. Not a ton. Not a
Oh, we
ton.
gotta talk a
What
little
we
bit
got?
about a couple other teams.
All right, go ahead. You always do this to me.
Well,
Go ahead.
I know the Niners, number one,
What about them?
lose to the Chiefs again. Brock Purdy
I
has his worst game of his
just
career, probably. They're now
I'm
3-4.
annoying to Niners fans, but I just don't care because it's going to be fine. I just think
I
it's going
agree.
to be. I think it's going to be fine.
I agree. I
Like
think that
it has to be annoying for that. Like when you have Super Bowl aspirations to keep running into that same team and seemingly like you play them close and the worst things happen. Like I'm trying to look right now and see where we're at on the division because it was. Remember we checked back after
yeah,
before the Seahawks game. We checked and they're about plus 100. Looking at or minus they're about flat. They're still plus 125. Like not much has changed. Like I still love that bet. I'm probably going to make that bet for them to win the division. They are banged up beyond belief, but
yeah,
Debo's fine. Debo's back, so
yeah.
that's one thing.
Okay. I mean, I still think they're going to be fine. I still think they're a playoff team, but I would think that there, as a San Francisco 49ers fans, they have to be a little worried.
The team that loses this game, Niners and Cowboys, that fan base will be inconsolable.
Yeah, that was
That
the
fan base will
next.
think it's over.
I was going to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah.
I would
Whatever
have to.
team loses this game will think their season's over, and it won't be, but they will think it is.
I think this is a must win for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's coming off a bye after being destroyed. If this game
It is
goes
more important for
bad,
the Cowboys.
things are going to
That's
be
true.
really bad in Dallas.
It is more
Uh, one
important for the Cowboys. I will give you that.
one last thing, because I feel like we don't ever cover this team, and it's one of our KDFL owners' favorites, is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Went into New York. Saquon got his revenge. They're
Yeah.
now half game back of the Commanders, who quarterback's banged up a little bit. What do you
Yeah. I
feel
don't know
about
if you've
the?
seen this yet, but Jaden Daniels has went to zero projection in ESPN.
Yeah,
So that's a
well,
big. I mean, it's not always accurate, but that's a big. That's a little bit of a telltale. Like, oh,
but I was gonna say, how do you feel about the Eagles right now?
I don't know. I feel I can't do that. Oh, it'll just be fine because the Commanders do look so good. And who do they have? Who do they have this week with Jay now? It's a winnable game. Oh, it's the Bears. So it's a
The
winnable
Bears.
game. Not that I mean the Bears are pretty hot too right now, but it's not like they're not going against the top tier team right now without Jaden Daniels. So um, it's a winnable game. But I just feel like the Eagles hate each other. And maybe it's fine. You can win that way. You can win
Yeah,
that way. You don't have to love each other. But I just feel like Sirianni's hated. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much trust we
I,
have in Jalen Hurts,
I
but
guess it just comes down to how hurt Daniels is. I looked at Washington's schedule. They got that kind of like that last place
it's
schedule
easy.
this year.
Yeah.
So Eagles are going to have to play well, but they still get to play them twice. So,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right, that's it. I don't want to keep you going. I could keep going
No,
talking about
no,
NFL
no,
teams.
no, it could for sure. Um, KDFL. Let's shift to that real quick. Let me tell you, I was disgusted on was it Tuesday morning? It was Tuesday morning to hear the quotes in the Discord. I feel so sorry. Let's get a direct quote here. Let me find it because I had barely awoken
Uh-oh.
and I could not believe what I
I
was
don't.
hearing. Let's see here. Poor Detroit. And I hear he's almost tied with me in points and has 3 less
Oh,
wins. Horrible luck for him this year. Detroit has 100 more points than the Gamblers and the Zen Masters, but he's in last place.
yeah.
I mean, the violins. You're in last place by 1 game, and it only looks bad because a certain team in Wake Forest, this is part of fantasy. Like, this is the luck part. You need some luck. The certain team in Wake Forest is 4-3, and getting some, I mean, some fortunate wins, we'll say.
Well,
He just won with a score of 177.
I also think a lot of that has to do with some people are trying to win what we're going to call the Detroit Encouragement Award this year.
Oh, I didn't think
Uh,
about that. See, I'm so honest
yeah,
that I didn't even think about
yeah, because you know you will never win it.
it.
But
um,
no, that's just fantasy. That happens.
the KDFL is in a weird spot right now because if you're healthy, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a rough season. We say it every year, but this is a rough season for injuries right now. And you look at the three teams, and I don't want to downplay what they got going on, but let me find them here. And we'll get into this when we pick the games as well. But there's three leading teams or two leading teams right now. Um, I don't know because the Durbans don't have freaking McCaffrey, so that is tough. But that is their only big injury, Christian McCaffrey, for the most part.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Wait.
Besides the thing, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Type message right there. But
You
and then you
talking about
look
the?
at
Oh,
yeah,
you talk. Who has CMC?
the Dobermans. They're
Okay.
6-1, but that's a huge injury to have to
Yeah.
sustain. He's been aided a little bit by Javonte Williams kind of coming back some. Let's look at the Evil Empire. Their injuries right now. No one. I mean Jonathan Brooks, but we don't know what that is yet.
Oh yeah.
But and you knew that going into the season. That's not a surprise injury. Like you
He
knew that
doesn't.
this was to be the case with him.
He doesn't have Ayuk. Oh.
No, the Kings have Ayuk.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about it's a good transition. Look at you transitioning so well. Um, the Mike and the Crumb Bums division is extremely interesting because you have the Kings at 4-3, Midnight Riders and Mega Powers at 3-4, and then we'll talk about the fourth team in a second. The Kings have, I mean, every team has monumental, like huge injuries. Like the Kings have been without ETN a lot. They have now without Ayuk, like that's done. Um, so those are two huge pieces that have kept them out. Olave also out for multiple games. Those are three humongous pieces for them. And then we have the Midnight Riders. Um, they've had Debo out a couple games. They've lost Rashee Rice. Aaron Rodgers is now banged up apparently, and now Baker Mayfield himself is not hurt, but he just lost Godwin and just lost Evans. So I
Yeah.
don't see Baker be able to keep up the same, high level of production. So that's huge. And then of course the Mega Powers. Let's get out the tiers for me, please. As we're without Nico and Isaiah Pacheco. We did lose Watson. It's not a huge loss, but it is going to be a huge loss if Richardson gets benched because then that Watson
Well,
injury becomes a much larger deal. So those
that's
are three
why,
huge injuries. So
and that's why the fame or
three teams.
our other co-host always talks about depth. You got to have depth.
Does talk about that. Speaking of him, look, we're gonna predict the game later on, and I have more to say on it. But I know how his brain works. He's 2-5. All right.
Yeah.
But we said at the beginning of the year, he's drafted so many rookies that this team is designed to get stronger as the season goes on. It's 2-5, 2 games back. He still plays the Kings once. He still plays the whole division once. The whole division, every division, the KDFL plays each other again at the end. He is not out of it. He's going to act like
Hmm.
he's out of it. He's not out of it at all. He has a game against the Gamblers this week. We'll save that for a second or in a little bit. But I know how his brain works. He's gonna act like I got no chance. He knows. He's like the guy in the bushes, like the gif I shared. Looking from a distance. I know how this works. Are you ready? Can we just jump right into the KDFL predictions with doing that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Do you have anything else?
No,
This is as
that's it.
hodgepodge of a show as we might do this season. So pretty funny. Um, let's throw up the predictions from last week on the big board real quick. Let's look at this because, as we know, the Evil Commission Jam filled in and picked for the Zenful one, and the defending champ councilman filled in and picked for you. You went 4-2 with his picks. Matt went 5-1 with the Evil Commission's picks, and I went 4-2 on my own picks. Oddly enough, that puts me only one game up on Matt, and you are 5 games back on it. You're at even 500,
Ooh.
21-21.
And you know
Halfway through
what?
the season, you were exactly 500. That's pretty funny.
I was thinking, didn't I win the last 2 years?
You have historically dominated us in this
Yeah.
little thing here. So, but this
Uh,
is. I will also say, this is the most parity the KDFL has seen.
yeah.
It is like it is it.
Absolutely.
That is why staying healthy matters so much more right now than it might in past years because it is that simple right now. And then our NFL picks, you are dominating that, or not dominating. You're dominating me. You're 9-5. You went 1-1. Um, Mike missed the Atlanta -3, of course, but hit the over because Seattle just kept scoring. Um, and then for Jam, for Matt, he hit both picks, Buffalo -8.5, and the Cincinnati and Cleveland under. And I missed San Francisco -1 and hit the Miami and Indiana's under 44. Okay, back to us now, and let us get this shared to where I can share my screen. And we will. Boom. And what was my first game up? All right, let me know when you can see that bad boy. Should be you see it now.
Oh, I see it.
All right, first game up is not the one I'm showing. It is real quick. Just give me a matchup that you're looking forward to in each one of these, and we'll go through pretty rapid fire on these. It is the 3 and 4. These are two teams that are somewhat reeling a little bit right now. Let's see the Sinners. The St. Albans Sinners, they've lost 2 in a row. Oddly enough, the Midnight Riders have not won since they swept the division. They're now 3 and 4.
Ooh.
The Renegades came and avenged his Dunbarian brothers and took down the Midnight Riders last week. So, looking at
I,
this matchup, I'm looking, and the Zinful one, Matt Smith has predicted that the Midnight Riders get back on their winning ways. He's back to shit talking the Sinners and having no faith in them whatsoever. Detroit, give me a matchup that you're looking forward to in this one. Keep in mind, even though it's Thursday morning, this man is a ridiculous procrastinator and has Mike Evans still in there, so his projection will go up a little bit once he gets Mike Evans replaced.
yeah, that kind of aggravates me. All right, how about Terry
Thursday
McLaurin
morning.
against the Bears without Jaden Daniels? He is
Yikes.
projected 14 points. He's been averaging 15 points on the year. So do you think Marcus Mariota is going to get him 15 points this week?
No, I do not. I do not
Yeah.
because I don't think the Bears defense is. I think this game, if it is Marcus Mariota, which all signs are starting to look that way, this game does not look. This game looks to me like a 16-13 game.
Yeah. I kind of
And
feel the same way. Even though they put a ton of points on the Panthers, it was the Panthers.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
this is a different animal playing the Bears. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Unless the Bears somehow get out big, which I don't see, and
right.
they have to come from behind. So I'm going to say under two.
All right. And what is your prediction for the game?
We're only doing for the centers then? Okay.
Well,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, no, that's
Give me
fine.
your. Well, no, do your Midnight Riders one. Sorry, I was doing something different in my head. I was picking what I wanted to see from the Midnight Riders, and that was not how we do this ever. So you go ahead.
All right, let's go with Kyron Williams with the Rams,
Okay.
who's number six. I think he's the number six running back, fantasy running back this year.
Yes.
He's averaging 20 points a game, and the projection is 17 points going against that tough Minnesota defense, even though the Lions ran up a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I picking this? I'm picking under.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go under two. So apparently, I'm not
Yeah.
picking really good matchups here.
No,
But
no, no.
anyway,
That's fine. It's part of
eh,
it.
as for the game, I'm kind of with Matt on this. I think the Midnight Riders are going to bounce back. Uh, I do worry about Baker Mayfield though,
Hmm.
but I think somehow he's going to squeeze it out. You know what? I'm changing that. I'm
Okay.
going with the Sinners.
All right.
I just looked at his matchups.
His matchups are good.
Yeah,
I mean, the McLaurin matchup aside,
yeah.
his matchups are not bad. Um, look at this. I want to see Aaron Jones. I'm not going to do the over under thing on mine. You do it for me, and I won't do it on my side. So we'll get moving. But I'm looking at Aaron Jones sneakily having a great year. And I want to see if he can keep it up against the Rams running back 12 on the season. And then on the other side, I want to see, not really looking for a point production, but I want to see if I know Jordan Mason's kind of beat up as well and Debo's back. I want to see if they get back their ways of running Debo a lot and see if he's used in that way in this game. I would hope, if I'm a Niners fan, I most hope he's not. I don't want to see like him take that abuse, but I want to see how they use it. But as far as a prediction, let me stay with the Midnight Riders. I do like the matchups a lot more for the Senators on the offensive side, but I don't know who's gonna replace. Let's show the bench here. Who is gonna replace Trey Tucker? He could probably put he could go Ramondre. Yeah, he could go Ramondre in there. Probably throw Ramondre, but that's against the Jets. I don't look for a lot of that either. But yeah, give me the Midnight Riders.
Riders. All
Riders.
right.
Next, a lot of good matchups this week, by the way. But of
Yeah.
course, I've done the math. I keep a tally of the games of the week, people, just so you know. I have a running thing. I know what everybody's doing. I'm trying to give equal representation across the KDFL. And this one is a no doubter every time it comes up every year. So, next matchup, we have the 6-1 Evil Empire at the suddenly red hot coming off a 177 point performance Wake Forest Lumberjacks. Evil Empire at 6-1, Lumberjacks at 4-3. I will go ahead and spoil this for you that the Zimple one has picked the Evil Empire to get the win, and he gave me some
Okay.
notes. I don't know if this one has notes. Evil Imp. Oh, we'll talk about this. The
I
Lumberjacks have traded for
I was
James
gonna
Winston.
that was gonna be one of the guys I was gonna pick.
Yeah, earlier this week he has traded for Jameis Winston. So the note for the Zim Masters, because he just absolutely can never let a mid QB go. He says Evil Empire will win unless Jameis scores 50.
Good God, still don't know if that's enough, but all
Okay.
right. Looking at the Evil Empire, I have to say the guy that sticks out to me this week is George Kittle against the Cowboys. And if I recall right, the last time they played, he was like a touchdown machine against the Cowboys.
If you recall right,
So,
the last time we talked about him, you wished ill upon this man.
this is true. And I've changed my ways. I'm
You
trying
have?
to, yeah, because I wished
Okay.
injury on him. Injury to my wife happened today. Little breaking
That's
news there
not.
for you people.
That could have been. That could be Hutchinson. That could be anybody. That doesn't have to be. That have to
Oh,
be
that's
Sal
true. I didn't
Lisa.
think about Hutchinson.
Oh, I definitely thought about
Yeah.
Hutchinson as soon as it happened.
Ah, man, I'm the curse. The black cow cloud strikes again. Anyways, he is projected for 15 points. He's averaging 17 points a game this year, and he's also the number two tight end in fantasy. Do you think he will exceed the 15-point
15.
projection?
I am going with yes, and I don't, and I have one reason why. Well, Ayuk gone is going to get more targets, but also prime time. I just trust Kittle in prime time when the lights are on and everybody's watching. He just seems to always show up in those moments. He did it in Seattle,
Yeah.
so I trust him in prime time. So give me the over on that.
All righty.
Give me your Lumberjacks one.
For the Lumberjacks, I think we have to go with Jameis Winston. They're projecting him 14 points. He is going up against Baltimore, so that's a tough matchup.
But it's not for the passing game. They're pass funnel.
Yeah, but we know Jameis, he could throw 7 picks in a game,
Yeah, but it
or he
doesn't
could throw,
penalize you as much.
or he could throw 5 touchdowns.
I'm going
I,
over.
I'm going under. I think he's going to be awful. So
Awful.
yeah, I don't think he's going to be very good.
All right.
I'm just not in love with this Cleveland Browns offense, anyways.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have his Judy, and we'll see if Tillman continues to improve. But
Yeah.
that's a problem in Joku, but that's a problem as well.
As for the game, I'm definitely going to go with our evil commissioner and
All
his
right.
evil empire.
All right. I'm just gonna let you kind of run the ship with the pick and the over unders and just kind of I just saw Aaron Jones on there and it laid out to me, and then I saw Debo, but I'm just gonna pick the games now. Let me go Evil Empire on this one as well.
All right. I like this.
We're calling
Where we're,
audibles all game long. Yeah, you're driving now. This is not what we planned at all, but you're driving this bad boy.
I
All
like
right.
this.
Let's go with the Zen Masters next at 2-5, taking on the 2-5 Gamblers. This is the fourth loser leaves town game for the Zen Masters since the season has began. Let me tell you this right now. All right, I already alluded to it a little bit earlier. The Zen for one has picked the Gamblers to win, but
Oh
it is
gosh.
fake. It is fake. He's just doing his bit that he does. I can never pick my team to win. It's a bit, it's a ruse. He doesn't really think he's going to lose. I guarantee you, if he had the truth serum, he would think he's winning this game. He could still lose this game, but I know how he thinks. He does not think he is going to lose this matchup, even though he picked against the Zen Masters. Take it away.
Yeah. Looking at these matchups, I have to go because I am a big critic to both of these starting quarterbacks on these
Man,
teams.
you hate these quarterbacks.
So I am first. We have Trevor Lawrence. He is averaging 16 points a game, and they project him to get 17 points against the Green Bay defense. Do you see that going over or under?
Uh, he's coming off a hot game versus the Patriots, right? What did he do? I know Tank had a big game. I knew they were winning, but did he score a lot? Scored
No, he
16 exactly. So it is
16. Yeah.
exactly what he's doing. Um,
I guess we have to talk about, he probably would have had 42 points, but there were drops.
there,
That's all I hear about. So just gotta throw that out there. There were drops.
I
Otherwise, he
didn't
would have
see the
42.
slide. I did not see the slide coming. I don't know. The Zimper one will be in attendance.
Oh,
All
nice.
five of the Smith clan will be in attendance, including young Maddie will be there at this game. So,
Oh.
we'll see how that goes. We don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. Um, um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go under. The Packers
Oh,
defense is so good, man.
they
The
are.
Packers defense is very good, and it's they'll do
I
the too high thing. I think we're gonna go under. I think he'll have like 13.
I actually think he's going to go over because I think he knows his
This
number
guy.
one number one fan is going to be in
He
attendance,
might. He
and
might.
that karma and that zen's going to be there. So
It's gonna be flowing.
I'm going to take the over. All right, next up for the gamblers is Mr. Bo Nix, and I am a huge critic of this guy. He is projected to have 19 points, and he's averaging 15 on the year, but he is also going against that stellar Carolina Panther defense. Do you see him going over?
He's gone over that mark 3 times in 7 starts. It is the Panthers. I worry that the Panthers won't be able to push as much with Bryce Young starting now and not Andy Dalton.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
So I do worry about the Andy Dalton in a car crash. Yeah, everything's fine, but he's not starting. Um, yeah, I mean, let me get the Bo Nix. Let me get the Bo Nix over.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think
It's
he's going
just
to
the
go over
Panthers,
also.
man.
Yeah, it's the Panthers.
Like
They're
like
terrible.
like if I'm Peyton, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm using this game to really push Bo Nix and like get his mind right. You got to win because they are in the mix.
Yeah,
Um, but you got to get your mind right and try some stuff and let him. The Panthers
right.
are the get right team. They just are the get right team game right
They're the river rats of the NFL.
now. They're not. Poor Panthers. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. All right, what's your prediction on this one?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Zen Masters. I'm big on Trevor this week, and Malik
I
Neighbors
love
is
it.
back.
God,
So
Trevor's gonna have the
that should
worst game of
help.
his career with you on hitting board. Yeah, let me get the Zim Masters to get the win as well. Now, a huge matchup, and I believe our biggest total projection of the week. Um, the 4-3 Roxanne Renegades traveling to Dogtown to take on the 6-1 Dogtown Dobermans. This is almost a 500-point total. The Zipper one has stayed true to our Dunbar roots and has picked the Renegades.
Well, isn't the Dobermans a Dunbarine?
Yes, but in a way, I'm talking born and bred, man.
Okay. All right, my bad. All right, for this
The
game.
Dobermans are an honorary member. Okay, they're an honorary member.
Oh, okay, my bad. I
It's like
have
a
to.
it's like a Sons of Anarchy nomad. Only like 3 people are gonna get that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with everyone's favorite tight end in Atlanta, Kyle Pitts for the Renegades.
Let's
He is
look at old Kyle
projected
Pitts.
he's projected a whopping 10 points while he's averaging 9 on the year. and he's going against Tampa. Do you see him going over 10 points? It's crazy to say.
I do
10
believe that
points.
the hey, he's a tight end 7. I mean, he's finally paying off a little bit from what the draft. Um, they are using him more and more. I just think that game is going to be an ugly game, though. I don't think it's going to have the points in it. So I'm going to go under on Kyle Pitts. I feel bad.
I'm going over. I think he's actually going to get a touchdown this week.
Okay, I like that.
So,
I mean,
uh,
obviously I like that, but I like it's a decent thought. It could happen.
all right. For the Dobermans, I was gonna go Brian Thomas Jr., but we just covered Jacksonville. How about we go Bucky Irving for Tampa? I've watched this guy a couple times. He looks pretty good. I know his
There
stats aren't the.
is there is a clear difference when you watch, and I'm shooting my own team in the foot here. When you watch them run, there is a
Yeah.
clear difference between Bucky Irving and Rashad White
Yes, I agree.
as far as burst and all that good stuff.
He is.
Rashad White is nice in the passing game, but Bucky Irving as a runner is just it's not
Yeah,
can't can't compare the two.
I agree. He's projected for 11 points. He's averaging 12 on the year. Do you think he will go over 11 against your Atlanta Falcons?
Mm.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna go
no.
under.
I am too. I have a feeling Atlanta's gonna shut them down.
I think that I mean we'll get into it. Well, okay, we might get into it on my game, but yeah, I think this might be someone else's time to shine. But we'll see. What's your prediction on the game? It's a
I'm
tough
gonna go.
game to predict.
It is. I'm gonna go with the Dobermans on this one. No clue why.
Um,
Just picking them.
I love it. Came out today that Alvin Kamara has been playing with a broken hand,
Oh,
which is interesting. But also Alvin Kamara signs a 2-year extension. So shout out all my fellow Kendra Miller owners. That dream is dying a rapid death right now. But yeah, so Alvin Kamara likely to retire a Saint now is the thought after trade rumors just last week around him being traded. He did squash them pretty quickly, like he shut down the trade rumors himself. But that is funny how that goes about. Look, I picked the Renegades last week to take down the Midnight Riders. They did it. I'm not getting off the train now. Let me get the Renegades again. All right, next, let's go with the. This is another great matchup. The
yeah,
four
this is
and
a really
three
good one.
Wampus Cats. I just said that the game we were looking before was the highest total. This one definitely is
Wampus.
higher. So the 4 and 3 Wampus Cats going at the 4 and 3 Kanawha County Kings. This is a massive game in the KDFL. The Zinful one has picked the Kings
Oh.
to get the W.
All right, looking at these rosters for the Wampus Cats, I got to show some Detroit love here. So how about Amon-Ra St. Brown is projected 17 points. He's averaging 19 this year, but they're playing the Tennessee Titans. Do you see him playing long enough to get over 17 points?
I think it's under because it's a good secondary.
Yeah.
There's a good secondary. The game script's not likely not going to matter as well, like you just alluded to. I'm going under.
I think it's going to be one of those games too where,
This feels like Laporta.
yeah, even though they don't have
No Jamison
JMO,
Williams. Yeah, which feels
so
like Laporta.
I feel like the Titans will concentrate on St. Brown. So I don't
Sneed,
think,
right? Yeah, it's Sneed. Sneed, right? Yeah.
yeah. So for the Kanawha County Kings, let's go with let's show his Cowboys some love. How about CD Lamb going against the Niners? He's projected 19 points and he's averaging 16 on the year. So they think he's going to go well over his projection. Do you see that happening?
Yep, I'm going to go over.
Do you?
I'm going to go over because same reason for Kittle. This is a primetime game. The stars are going to shine in this game. So, and this is a must win for the Cowboys. I think Dak to CD is going to be early and often in this game.
I don't know. Dallas just doesn't play well against San Francisco and especially at San Francisco. So I'm going under. And I
Yeah.
think things are going to be insane after this game when the Cowboys lose. With that said, I'm going to go with the Wampus Cats in this game.
All right. I was leaning, it would be better for me if the Wampus Cats get the victory, a division foe win the Kings. But I'm looking at these matchups. The Miami Dolphins. Now, this could be because Two has been out. So teams haven't had to push, but the Miami Dolphins are number one against fantasy quarterbacks this year. I don't like Derrick Henry versus Cleveland. I don't like J.K. Dobbins versus the Saints. Don't love Amon-Ra St. Brown against the Titans, like we just said. Deontay Johnson's going to get Patrick Surtain in Denver. Like these matchups are just over and over not good. Tucker Kraft is good versus the Jaguars. That's a good matchup. But looking at all these, they're not great. Um, the Kings don't have nearly that problem on their side. So let me get the Kings getting the win begrudgingly. I'm hoping for the Wampus
Original
Cats.
move.
Feels like a Kings. All right, now the game of the week. Every year that this game comes up, it is our game of the week. It is the KDFL's Yankees Red Sox. If the Yankees and Red Sox never won anything, it is Duke, North Carolina. Again, Texas, Oklahoma. Name your rivalry. This is it.
Michigan, Ohio State.
Michigan, Ohio State. This is the rivalry that the KDFL was built on, we'll say. How about that? Let's get real grand. Let's get real grand with it right now. It is the 1-6 Elkview River Rats traveling down here to Melbourne to take on the 3-4 Melbourne Mega Powers. The Zimba one has stayed true to Dunbar and picked the Mega Powers to get the win. But let's first go over a couple matchups, Detroit.
Yeah, this is not ideal not having Jaden Daniels this week because he's my guy with Gibbs. He's my two highest
Yep,
scorers. Um, we're gonna go with Keon Coleman with the
that's a
Bills
good one. Good pick.
going against the Seahawks. I thought this guy was gonna just disappear last week when they got Amari Cooper, but he went off for 4 receptions, 125 yards. He had 17 points last week. This week they're projecting 10 points. He's averaging 9 on the year. Do you see him getting over 10 points?
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm basically just hoping for a touchdown. No, I'm gonna go under just because Amari Cooper is getting more and more.
Yeah,
Shakir
I agree.
Shakir's Shakir kept his production up last week, which we're debating in Melbourne. We're debating starting Shakir or not. So
Yeah, I
we'll
think
see
he's
because
gonna
he's
have
been consistently boring, but he's been consistent.
I think Coleman's gonna go off and get like 3 points for me this week.
Now, do you want a question live on the podcast for the River Rats owner? I don't know if you have time to think about this.
Oh, let's
I
do it.
don't know who you're going to fill that OP slot with.
I just did with
Let me refresh it. Let me reload it. Was it Singletary?
no.
Hold on, let me see who it was. I knew I saw a couple options. Trey Tucker?
Nope.
No, Trey Tucker's not even on your team. Tajay Spears getting the
Ajay Spear.
start.
Yeah, I figured they're
I
gonna
was
be
looking at something
down.
earlier, and Trey Tucker stood out. It wasn't this, obviously. So there's updated projections for the people as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
figured they'll be behind. They may have to throw him the ball out of the backfield. Hopefully he
well,
plays. He hasn't been playing. He's
I
still
can't even
questionable.
enjoy the Jane Daniels out because I am wildly exposed to him in the rest of my leagues. So it's very painful for me as well. All right,
As
give us
for
a mega
your
power.
as for your guy, let's go with Anthony Richardson.
Oh, jeez.
Traveling to Houston. He is projected for 15 points. He's only averaging 10 points on the year. Do you see him going over 15 points? He's only done it once this year.
Not only that, he's only done it halfway one other time. I mean, you
Yeah,
look at
just
this 27, 8, 3, 5, misses 2 games, 9. Okay.
wow.
This is like red alert right now in Melbourne for this. So, I mean, he is wildly inaccurate. He's he's got to continue. He has improved on it some, but he's got to continue to improve on that. I am not betting on. No, I'm going under right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go under also. Not he's got to show more for me to actually start to believe in this guy. All
I just want him to
right.
get near the goal line and score a daggone rushing touchdown. Like this is the big fear in Melbourne right now because um, the benching happens. So
Yeah.
we'll see. All right,
All right.
what is your
So,
pick, buddy?
man, things are not looking good in Elkview. Singletary's kind of lost his starting role. Jaden Daniels is hurt. Keon Coleman really hasn't shown a lot. He was our big second round pick. It's basically Jameer Gibbs, and that's it this week. I guess Jordan Love could get hot, but
Jordan Love has a great matchup,
yeah, he does. Hoping he can find.
which could translate to Christian Watt. Yeah, exactly.
I hope so. I hope he can find Watson. Uh, I'm a big underdog in this matchup. Uh,
Okay,
you're,
that's not.
I mean, it's 28
That's not.
points.
I haven't scored over 200 points in 2 weeks.
That's all right. You're also, I don't know, have two more wins than me. Anyways,
44.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. There's no way that I could pick you. Of course, I'm picking
Yeah.
myself. Let's
Yes.
go.
Let's go. This is, you mentioned the Cowboys must win. This is a must win for the Mega Powers. This is one of my only, we're trying to weather the Nico Collins injury storm. And this is game 3 or 4 that he's on the IR. I don't even know for sure that he comes back the game after this 4-game IR. So we're trying to weather that right now. We're trying to weather Anthony Richardson, remembering how to throw a football. After this, we have the Dobermans, we have the Renegades, and it's back in the division play. The season is absolutely, and the Sinners, and it's back in the division play. The season is flying by right now. We're already at the halfway point. Things are starting to move into position. Cannot give this one away at home in Melbourne. Let me get the Mega Powers to get the win, and if they don't, it is red alert right now in Melbourne. All right. That's it for your week 7 predictions. Real quick, do you want to read the Zinful one? Has give
Yes.
us a quote, but real quick
So,
before you read that, and you'll do your sign off with that. I did say we were going to go, a shorter show, right? I said 35 to 45 minutes. We're currently at 51 minutes, so that was another lie. Let me stop sharing the screen. That was another lie that we told the people. So, with that being said, the Zenful one has picked as his lock of the week. He is going Minnesota, and he's giving the 2.5 points, and that is against the Rams on Thursday night. So he's looking for a bounce back win for Minnesota, and then he's going under in the Eagles and Bengals, or I'm sorry, going over. Apologies on the Bengals and Eagles at 48. Please, dear God, read his quote.
all right. Well, so the Zen Masters wanted me to share his deep thoughts, and this is from him. I really worry that a lot of the mental health stuff in 2024 is focusing so much on all the bad stuff in your life that you end up wallowing in it and you start to spiral. If bad crap is happening to you, there's only so much you can do to process it. Sometimes bad crap just happens because it just happens. Get outside and go for a walk.
Very
You like that?
insightful. Yes. Now give your picks and your side off. And let's
All
end this
right.
abbreviated show that's not abbreviated at all.
All right. I studied really hard on these picks.
Yes.
Um, I have the Texans -5. I don't even know who they're playing.
The Colts we just
The
talked
Colts.
about.
Okay, that's right. And the over, I'm taking the over in the Lions Titans game, which is 44.5. I have to, I think the Titans will score 7 and the Lions will score the rest. So I'm going with that. Brett, you suck, as always. Oh, and
Look at
also,
him.
I would like to thank Bucky's this week for everything that they do. Thank you. God bless.
My picks. The Jets struggled on primetime TV. Rogers talked about needing to have a better approach, a better attitude, and what better team to do that against than when you travel to New England to take on the Patriots. So give me the Jets -7, and then the Jags just scored a bunch of points, got everybody excited against those Patriots in London. They're back home. So what better way to let everybody down than by not scoring very much? So give me the Packers and Jags under 49.5. So next week we will be back here. Imagine the Zenful one will be here for week 8 results and week 9 predictions. But that's it. So for the Zenful Matt Smith, for Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes, I'm Brett Still, and we will see you here next week on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.